Hey, welcome back to Mirror Expressions, a channel where I take the time to share a little bit of myself with you all, and I invite y'all to come on in and do the same with me. Go ahead, make sure y'all are hitting that thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. All right, subscribe. That way you will know whenever I drop another video. And then let your girl know how you are doing. It's been a minute, y'all. Listen here. I like these shows are just not showing. Do you hear me? I'm just so over it. I'm over Married at First Sight. Real Housewives of Atlanta ain't giving me nothing. And I'm just like, what's up? So, that being said, if y'all got something else that I can come on here and talk with y'all about, give my opinion, recap the show, and then we can get down in the comments and talk about it, let me know. Just put it down in the comment. Be like, hey, listen, check out such and such, watch this and that. You know what I'm saying? So I've also been thinking about maybe taking the time to go ahead and do Abbott Elementary season 1. I know I had said I would do it. So this is kind of seemingly coming across as a great time to do it because nothing is going on right now. You know what I'm saying? So I may go ahead and start doing that season 1. One of the commenters asked me to do that a while ago. And so yeah, so I think that this may be a great time to go ahead and do that. But yeah, if there's anything else out there I need to be checking out, because like I said, these shows are not showing. Anyway, y'all, make sure y'all are dropping me a mirror emoji if you down in the comments if you have looked in the mirror today, and you are feeling A1 with what you see looking back at you, right? Your girl, I want to know how you've been doing. I've been wonderful. I've been great. I've been missing y'all, but I just ain't been motivated to come and just talk to y'all about these shows. But anyway, listen, we're going to go ahead and get to it. Season 16, episode 23, Married at First Sight, last call for Music City, right? All these fluffy episodes that they're giving us. We're 19 days after decision day at this point, right? Clint has Hank. We see him taking him for a walk, all at the state capitol or whatever. Hank, y'all, the dog even got his own confessional. Y'all know they done ran that. Lifetime done ran out. Do you hear me? They done gave the darn dog his own confessional. Now where they do that at? Oh, give us free. Can we get our Wednesdays back, please? Oh, child. Anyway, we see Kirsten, Jasmine, they're hanging out. They seem to have really formed a great friendship. Look, they're talking about starting a party bus. Sounds good if they could get it off the ground and get it up and going and running. And yeah, take this money and flip it and let it make money for you. Because other than that, what else have y'all gotten out of this? You know what I'm saying? A divorce, you know. But anyway, Kirsten says she's been feeling full of life since she left Shaquille. She said because it was so draining being with him, and now that it's over, she is breathing again. She mentions that Aris and Shaquille will be feeling like they missed out on something good when they see these two getting all that money. I was like, you know what? I don't know if that would be the thing, Kirsten, but I do agree both of them would definitely have regret. Like, I already feel like Shaquille is already having regret. And if he isn't already, I definitely feel like Aris will. He's going to look back and realize he had a great thing in Jasmine, and then maybe he should have tried a little bit harder. But anyways, we see Nicole and Chris. They're packing up her apartment because, you know, she's moving in with him. And then they have gotten a bigger apartment, I think in the same building that he lives in or whatever. So they're talking about hosting Thanksgiving this year at their house and inviting their family and friends. They end up FaceTiming her dad and invite him to come up for Thanksgiving. I think this may have been the first time that, at least the way it came across, but y'all know they do a lot for the show. The first time that her dad had spoken to Chris, at least since decision day, because he was congratulatory towards him or with him, and he told Chris that, you know, he has done an amazing job and that he is proud of the both of them. We see Dom and her mom, they're out eating like dinner, lunch. Listen, it don't matter, they're out talking. Mom wants to know if she's talked to McKinley, and Dom of course is like, hell no, she ain't saying like that, but y'all get the gist, right? um uh Anyway, but yeah, she tells her mom that no, she hasn't spoken to them. I'm just like, girl, y'all were all just together a few days ago. Everybody from the cast was, so don't act like you have not spoken to him. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, she did tell her mom that she got the scoop from Clint that Mac and Gina actually went out on a date. So the mama wanted to know how she felt about that, and how did that make Clint feel. And Dawn was just like, both of us really don't care about the situation. So her mom did say that she wishes Dom and McKinley could have at least been friends. And Dom was just like, I ain't come here to make friends. You know what I'm saying? And I agree, like, it is what it is. Move on. We don't have to deal with each other anymore. You know what I'm saying? If they happen to have made friends, so be it. But if they didn't, like, keep it moving. It's not anything to try to force. You know what I'm saying? Anyway. So her mom got in her confessional, and she was just saying that she initially felt guilty for pushing, not McKinley, but for pushing Dom to be a part of this process. But Dom told her that, quite naturally, it was her decision at the end of the day. Like, she didn't have to move forward with it just because it was something her mom pushed her to do. So, Dom does tell her mom about Gil, that she reached out to him and that they are scheduled to talk. Like, why you got a schedule to talk to somebody? That was all set up too. That was production too. But anyway, that they're scheduled to talk, and that I've always wanted to go down to Texas. Dom, you are not going anywhere. You are not leaving that mom, and you know it. So bloop. Yo, oh my goodness. I'm telling you, this is the most BS, the BS, the BS. Anyway, because I really want to say something else. But I'm working on my mouth. And pray for your girl. So, Aries, he goes on a blind date, right? They went to like this smoothie place, something light and airy, great fun. So, I don't know. Her name was Kendra or Kentra. I don't know. Anyway, her old girl. So she had went out for the show as well. That's the point I really want to make. She went out for the show as well. Didn't make it. And supposedly, and I'm saying supposedly, and I'm really using it in all caps, right? Because it's really, we all know the truth. It's like in front of our face. So why are you trying to feed us the lie? So supposedly she reached out to Aries after seeing him on the show, right? Like Houseway. If these shows are just now airing, and this is 19 days after decision day, how are you already knowing that he was on the show and reached out to him? And you can't say word of mouth, because homegirl said she's all the way in Memphis and that he is in Nashville, right? And let me tell y'all, I'm from Memphis, right? Now I'm just gonna say Tennessee is, a lot of people underestimate the length of Tennessee. We are a very long state. I lived on the west side in Memphis. I went to school on the east side in Knoxville. And it took all of, baby, about 6.5, 7 hours to make that drive from one side to the other side of Tennessee. So, and Nashville is smack dab in the middle of it all. You know what I'm saying? So, listen. She ain't gonna tell me she just saw him on the show and reached out. Baby, no. They're just now airing these episodes. So, anyway, I just like this show here. It's just like y'all, when Clint went on his little blind date, what was that, the previous episode before this one? And he said that one of his friends hooked him up with this person. And then we kind of find out this old girl had also gone out for the show. Like, come on, Married at First Sight. Come on. Like, y'all pulling these people and trying to hook them up and go on dates so that y'all can have some type of content, which at this point we are all over. Anyway, so they're on their date and she wants to know why things didn't work out with Jasmine. You know, again, if you supposedly reached out to him after seeing him on the show, then you already kind of know what happened throughout their relationship. So Blockhead Aries, he didn't want to say, you know what I'm saying? She was like, come on now. I need a little more than that, So he says, basically that there just was not a spark between the two of them. And they kind of talk about some of the similarities between the two of them. Like that they both were raised by single parents. Both of their fathers were deceased. They were only children. And they said that they would have a second date at some point. Okay, I didn't really see much going on between the two of them. Anyway, so Nicole, y'all, they are reaching. Nicole is having a whole birthday party for her dog, right? She's talking about she's excited to invite her friends over. I said this is just another excuse for the cast to get together. Because I don't know about y'all, but I did not see anybody else there other than the cast. Even though she was so excited to invite all of her friends over. And I know Nicole clearly has friends outside of the cast, right? So, where they at? Where are all these friends that you were so excited to invite over? But anyway, nobody showed up but the castmates. They didn't even bring their dogs. So the only dogs we see are Nicole and Chris's 3 dogs put together. Dom and McKinley, they exchanged a friendly little cordial hug. It did look awkward, but at least they did. Kirsten ends up telling the group that she reached out to Shaquille after the loss of his grandmother. And it's her. Because I'm just looking like, I just got through saying I feel like this was a whole production thing. Now, I have seen dog parties before. Now, I'm not that person. My dog does not have dog birthday parties, but I've seen them. I cannot say that I have ever been to one, but some of my friends, they do this thing. They do them, I'm just looking around for it to be a party. There were not any games for the dogs. There was not any activities for the dogs. I ain't see no special treats for the dogs. And I'm just like, all they did was they sat there and talked. Again, another chance for them to get together. And they held them dogs right there on the leash. They ain't even let the dogs sit there and run around. They could at least had it in the dog park or something. Hey, I'm just the observer here. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I said a birthday party. Weird. So anyway, back to the group. Kirsten, Dom, and Nicole, they go off to the side and talk, right? And Dom is asking Kirsten if she wants to be friends with Shaquille. And she was pretty much like, hell to the no. And she was just like, okay. Y'all know I get up here and I exaggerate a little bit. She didn't say hell to no. But she was pretty much like, I'm not pressed about it. Okay. I'm not pressed about it. I'm trying to move forward. And she doesn't want to bring any of that into a future relationship. Kirsten, I feel you. I get it. Move forward. Let it go. Right. So Dom said that she can be cordial with McKinley as well, but as far as trying to have a friendship, she's good on that as well. Her thing is like, if we are mature enough to marry a stranger, we should be mature enough to be able to handle whatever happens afterwards. And that's a good way to look at it. You know what I'm saying? You should be. Gina meets up with her mom and her stepdad, and again, they have this where it's so scripted, like it's if she's just filling them in on stuff, and y'all know Gina been talking to their mama, so she tells her mom that everything is well between the two of them, like her and Clint, she and Clint, but that Hank is the problem. That every time he hangs out with Hank, it brings him back home. He's offering her $10,000 for Hank, right? Her mom was like, nope, he's not. He is not getting my grandpup. Mom was like, no, it's not happening. Oh, but anyway, so her mom was just like, she really could not understand why Clint just did not fall head over heels for Gina. Mom, you will understand as you watch this back with us. Just wait on it. Wait until you watch the playback. So Gina tells the two of them about McKinley and how he was part of the experience as well, and that they have actually gone on a date, and she's open to seeing where things will go with that. Speaking of McKinley, then we see him back in Detroit, and he's showing us his plants, and he speaks about his job offer and how the money is better there than it is in Tennessee when it comes to cannabis. And I guess it is, sir, seeing that cannabis is illegal in the state of Tennessee. Just say what it was. You were here for the show. Oh, goodness. So, back in Nashville, Shaquille, Jasmine, and Aries are meeting up, right? Shaquille, he said he wants to get advice from them. They seem to have a friendship, and he wants to know how he and Kirsten can have the same thing. Shaquille, you and Kirsten are different people from Jasmine and Aries. Not only are y'all different people, your relationship dynamics were different. You can't expect the same thing just because other people are doing it. When you told Kirsten if she wanted her man to buy her a house and that kind of car, well, then she need to go be with them. It's the same kind of thing. You stop looking to other people for how the things should be between you and Kirsten. No, that's something you and Kirsten have to navigate between the two of you, and not mimic after someone else. Like, no, it just doesn't work like that. So anyway, Jasmine did tell him that Kirsten is confused, embarrassed, she feels rejected, but that eventually the two of them will be able to be friends. he did tell the two of them that he and Kirsten are supposed to be meeting up to talk about things. And yeah, this is another insight, because y'all know I just be noticing stuff. Why was he the only person at the table eating? Did y'all see that? Aries and Jasmine were not eating, but Kirsty, Shaquille had that whole plate, was tearing it down. Nobody else was eating. Anyway, just something I noticed. That was pretty much all between the two of them. The three of them. Next we see Gina FaceTiming an attorney. I said this show is really playing in our faces. at this point. Oh my goodness. They are playing in our faces bad. You know what I'm saying? Because we all know that the show handles their divorces if they choose not to stay married on decision day, right? We also know that they sign prenups before the show happens. Whatever they come into the marriage with, they leave with, right? So why? What was the point of seeing her talking to an attorney? What was the point of her talking to an attorney anyways? But yeah, anyway, y'all know that clip that we've been seeing of her asking about the dog and if Clint can take it. Well, this is where that was shown, okay? And I told y'all it wasn't what they were making it out to seem. I told y'all when they first started airing that clip, that's not what it's gonna be. They're here for the dramatics, and y'all ought to know that by now. That's what they do. They go chop and screw stuff like they did showing us Clint and Dom kissing at the top of the season, knowing we didn't get it till the whole darn season was over with, you know. So she basically just wanted to know if legally Clint had any claims to the dog. So they talk about that, and it is what it is. We're going to keep it moving. So we get a glimpse of Nicole and Chris moving. Nothing to see there. Let's keep it rolling. Kirsten goes to visit her cousin and her cousin's husband. I think we saw them. I think they were part of the couple that came to visit them at their housewarming. Anyway, so supposedly they do not know yet that Kirsten and Shaquille didn't work out. Again, we about 19, 20 days after decision day. If they are close like that, they already know. So Kirsten is telling them about decision day and all the things that Shaquille said, especially how he started crying, because we know she is still hung up on this. Every time she talks to somebody, he was crying and he was the one crying. I should have been the one crying, right? So her cousin's husband said he thought that they were actually going to make it because on paper they look like the perfect match. Kirsten also tells them about she brings up about how there was the big issue about her not going to Memphis that one time, and how it just kind of lingered and festered in their relationship pretty much. Her cousin said that she feels Shaquille had unrealistic expectation, and that's not fair to Kirsten, or it wasn't fair to her. But not only that, it wasn't fair to himself as well, you know. And I agree. I think both of them did. But I think while Kirsten maybe came down and tried to open up and reach a common ground toward the end, I think Shaquille, I feel like the more Kirsten gave, the more he wanted, if that makes sense. Because at first she wasn't willing, and so there was a goal. There was a goal for him to conquer. And when he did, and she started to open up and start to give more of herself, then he wanted more. And as she gave more, he wanted even more. And it just became these unrealistic expectations of Kirsten. That's how I feel. Could be wrong, but that's kind of what I saw happening and how things unfolded. And I feel like he just had unrealistic expectations. It was always never enough. Anything she did was never enough. You know, and it was never, and he could never speak to what it was that was never enough. You know what I'm saying? So, child, anyway, Kirsten shares that, she's having that she's meeting, they're meeting up, right, and that she's having mixed emotions about it all or whatever. And so her cousin was like, girl, that wouldn't be me. And I said, I feel you, cousin, because baby, once I'm done, I'm done. What are we meeting up for? You made your choice, I made mine. You had your moments to tell me what it is you wanted me to know at that time. And if you did, that's that on that. There's nothing more to talk about, because for me, that chapter is closed. That book is closed and it's not going to be opened back up. You know what I'm saying? It's like, why is it? Yeah, and I know I can't be the only one. I find myself just wanting to go smooth Kirsten's hair out. Oh, baby, it's like always a little poof or a strand out of place, and I just want to be like this. Like, girl, just fluff that down. Like, smooth it. Am I alone in it? I know I'm not alone in it. I know I'm not. Oh, child, I just want to just go like this to her, baby. Anyway, Clint is looking for him his own little pup. We see him go to this dog breeder. She does the golden doodles. And so they're talking about the puppies. And yeah, those little pups are so stinking cute. But I'm just thinking, like, isn't that also what Jazz breeds? Does she breed the golden doodles too? So he ought to be shopping with her as well. I'm sure maybe he did. I don't know. They can't show everything. But anyway, yeah, why did the breeder make a comment about his red hair matching the dog's hair color? I said, look here. Y'all remember earlier in the season, something was said about Hank having red hair, and Hank the dog having red hair, and Gina loves him, but she doesn't like the red hair on Clint. It was something about that. I can't remember. It was like in the earlier episodes, kind of like when Gina first moved into the apartment. But anyway, I just thought that was like, it just always gets thrown in our faces about, as a reminder, friendly reminder, Clint has red hair. Like, yeah. That's all. Nothing much to see about that. He didn't buy a puppy. He just said he's going to do his due diligence and look, and he's not going to go for the first little cute face that he falls for, right? And I like that, because it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. Taking care of a dog. So we finally get the FaceTime between Dom and Gil. Again, it was not much to see. He wants to know what was up with the marriage, and he was shocked to hear that it only lasted 11 days. And he kind of was chastising her, like, you should have been putting in the effort to work. You supposed to see this thing through, pretty much. You made this commitment, but you have to be willing to give it a chance, Ultimately, she did tell him that she feels like she made the right choice about anything when she did. And when she was asked who she would like to go out on a date with, she's like, I thought about Gil. I thought about you. And so, hence, she reached out to him, and now they are here. So Gil said that he recently just started dating. Oh, excuse me, y'all. In her confessional, she said that she's been crushing on Gil because he's articulate, he's patient, and he has a good sense of humor. And I'm thinking, okay. And all of this how? like you don't know him, right? Other than what you saw, right? So anyway, although she said she's crushing on him, Gil just did not seem interested at all in her. He pretty much was like, okay, well, let's end this conversation. We'll talk again maybe in another month. But Dove said she was feeling optimistic. I said, okay, girl. That did not sound too promising to me on his side. End all be all. It's time for Kirsten and Shaquille to meet up. Right? They meet up at like a park bench or something, and they start off by checking in on each other. Like, she's checking in on him and his family with the passing of his grandmother. And so after they got past all that, Kirsten pretty much just dived straight into it beyond the pleasantries. She really wants to know why he wanted the divorce. She was just like, it surely couldn't just been on me. Like, what is it about you that you were dealing with that made you want to say no? And he said that there were things that he wanted them to get to, and he didn't feel like they would ever get there. Wherever there is. I'm like, what are these things you wanted them to that you wanted you all to get to? Don't know. He never felt like things were enough, he said. They were on separate pages the entire time. So she asked, why was he so emotional and crying? And he said, because I made a decision for me. He reminds me of one of these people, because this is what I keep hearing him say. I heard him say that decision day. I'm making a decision for me. He's one of those people that gets something, hears something, sounds good, and he's gonna stick with it. Like, it's gonna replay in his head 1,001 times, and he's gonna say it 1,001 times. I was making a decision for me. We heard that decision day. We're hearing it now. And then in the reunion, we heard him. We're making this decision for me. Like, come on now. We all know that. But why? Why? You know. So anyway, he said he didn't know how to say how he truly felt about not getting what he wanted out of the marriage. What is it that you wanted that you were not getting? See, those are the things he needs to articulate. He needs to say, to tell her, you know, because at this point we still don't know. I don't think any of us knows. If we don't know, she doesn't know. Like, he doesn't know. That's the problem. He doesn't know. So Kirsten said she wished she would have known where he was throughout the marriage, as far as like how he was feeling. And so he then asked, well, where do we go from here? Kirsten said, our separate ways. Girl, I know that's right. Like, what do you mean? Where do we go from here? Shoot, you going that way and I'm going this way. So he was pretty much like, well, are we gonna be friends? What, we just gonna leave it on this bench? I would have been like, we leaving it right here on this bench. What more do you want? Let's see. Shaquille wants to keep them strings attached without the commitment. No, sir. You do not get to have it both ways. No, sir. Why he try to figure out, make up his mind, so if he decides he wants to do that, he can try to weasel his way back in. No, sir. She said, you know, we can be cordial, and we can leave it at this. So she gets up to leave. After she left, Shaquille gets in a confessional, whining and complaining still. Like, he was saying she's not nurturing. How she didn't even check on my family, and she didn't ask if we needed anything. Like, nothing. This is why I say what I said. Like, he was gonna always want more. The more she gave, the more he was gonna want, and he was gonna keep moving that goalpost for her, like, because she checked on him. She asked about how he was doing. She asked about how their family was doing. You know what I'm saying? So they talked about things like, but that was not good enough. That was not good enough. And the thing is, we all know Kirsten is not the most emotional person. We know that. You know what I'm saying? But to kind of equate that without her being nurturing, I don't think that's right. You know what I'm saying? Some people, because some people just are not. They're not. Me, I cry when I see the little dog commercial come on, and the arms of the angel. I'll be like, ooh. You know, that's me. But I can say this honestly too. That has not always been me. I will say, since having my son, I don't know, my hormones got all whacked up, and they ain't been the same. And I would cry if I see somebody in front of me just talking. I would cry. If they're crying, I would cry. I won't be, but I would cry. It was like, because it's just, I don't know. Like, that's just how I am. But anyway, you have some people that are emotional and some people just are not, but again, you can't equate that to her being nurturing or not, because she did. She checked on you. She asked how you were doing. She asked about your family. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, yeah, he just keeps moving that goalpost on her, like, kind of like how she now, because she did it at first too. Like, we all saw that too. Whatever he was doing was not enough, but yeah, they just flip flopped, and he's stuck in this state where, and I don't know if he's doing that subconsciously, like a payback. I don't know. Shaquille doesn't know. That's what I get. Shaquille just does not know. He's out here. He's a lost soul. He's a lost soul. He needs to figure out himself and who he is. And I think he knows he needs to do that, but he wants to keep those ties so that once he figured it out, that if he wants that connection with Kirsten, he can pull her right back in with this string. Like, But anyway. So the group is axe throwing. This is where we get the Dom and the Clint kiss. They go axe throwing. Everybody's there except for like Shaquille, McKinley, and Kirsten. They were the only three that didn't make it. Right? They start clowning about Gina and Mac seeing each other. She ends up FaceTiming him because he's back in Detroit. Or Michigan. I don't know what I'm saying, Detroit, but I don't know what part. He's back in Michigan. And didn't get an answer. So Gina kind of tried to play it out. Maybe he's on a date. Girl. Anyway. So the energy kind of shifts to Dom and Clint possibly hooking up. And it kind of started off as a joke. And it really was a joke. So Nicole comes up with this thing like, if Clint and Dom both get the axe to stick on their one and only throw, then they have to kiss. So Clint throws his, it sticks. Dom is next, right? And production try to be all dramatic, and she throws it, and they cut to a commercial, so we don't get to see if her axe sticks or not. And I'm just like, y'all got to do better. Like, we've already seen the clip of them kissing ever since the beginning of the season, and we have yet to see it. So we can only surmise that even if we don't recognize this as being the same background, that this is when that kiss happens. The bet is already on the table. Like, come on. Why did y'all have to try to be all dramatic? Go to a commercial. Anyway. So, come back for the commercial. The axe sticks, right? And the two of them kiss. And I was like there. That was me, because it wasn't nothing to be woo, nothing. Aries holding on to Jasmine like it was a really big deal, and I'm just like, any excuse, boy, let her go and let it go. Like, there is no reason to be holding out onto her like that. So Jasmine ended up calling Kirsten during the confessional. It was like she and Aries were having a confessional together. And so she calls Kirsten up on the speakerphone and tells her, Clint and Dom just kissed. And Kirsten's like, girl, wow, what? Are you serious? And yeah. It was nothing. Gina said that seeing the two of them kiss, seeing him kissing somebody else, it was just confirmation for her that he was not her match. And so after that, Clint gave like the last words to the group. You know, he always pretty much has something profound and sound to say, I think. Don't really remember what that was, but he did, and that was the end of the episode pretty much. And I'm over all these filler episodes, really, if you cannot tell. So that was it. That's all I got. See y'all at the reunion. And as always, I pray for y'all. Y'all pray for me. And what? Bye.